Hi, and welcome to Coming Inside Out. I'm John Derler,
I'm Brian James.
and we are coming from you. We're coming from Los Angeles here,
Yes.
right in the heart of LA, right in the middle of LA.
Hancock Park.
Hancock Park. That's right, Hancock Park. Hancock Park. And we're coming from you from my office, Hancock Home.
Yes.
That's
Well, so this is totally off topic.
It is.
Just because of the way you said it. John had a coming out party
A year ago.
the Abbey,
At the Abbey.
which was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
It was 70s or 80s tennis.
It was 80s tennis attire. That's all my girlfriends from my acting class 25 years ago, they're so loving and supportive. They're like, oh my God, you need a coming out party and let's have a theme. And they go, let's do 1980s tennis wear. And we did. Yes. And it was hilarious. There's about 80 of us at the Abbey.
Yes.
It was at the Drag Queen Brunch Show.
Yes, Sunday Drag Queen. But speaking of Hancock Park, John gets invited up onto the stage because he had a private party at the Abbey off on the side.
Right.
He gets up on stage, and what did you tell everybody?
I said, ladies and gentlemen, they all knew that I go, this message is brought to you by my company. Oh no. Yeah, my company is sponsoring this today.
Yes.
We're sponsored by Hancock Homes, where your cock is in good hands at Hancock Homes. And then I also said, and we're not opposed to having the vagina. We'll guide the vagina to a new house too. We don't discriminate. Anybody who wants a house, we will help you find it or we will help you sell it. So, but I'm in a community where people knew that I was married to a woman.
Yes.
And a lot of people know who I am out here. And guys, right now, I am still coming out. There's parts of me coming out. We were talking about this today, where Facebook, you're like, hey, I've never friended Brian on Facebook. And so, I use about 12% of Facebook. And that's about how much my knowledge is of it. But there was a hesitation because I'm doing this podcast with you, and I'm like, oh my God, who's going to see it that doesn't know that I'm gay yet? That I haven't come out.
Yes.
And so, that's the other part of, we had my coming out last year, and
to who you wanted to be there.
To who I wanted.
Yes.
And everybody showed up. Yes. It was great. And so now, with my personal Facebook page, I'm sure this is going to start feeding into it, and then people looking at it, will see. And there's a lot of people from back home, back in Texas, that will be surprised. They're like, "Oh my God, what?"
Yes.
And so there's that little hesitation, but now we're both realtors. We work the business here in LA. Yes. So if any of you listening, if y'all need any help, we would love to help any of your friends that need anything.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's not what we're here for.
Yes.
We're here to talk to people, read your emails about coming out, and share our stories with you, and share everyday life with what's going on as gay father.
Yes.
Yes. And you did say there was a bunch of hot guys. Well, we're on the corner. We're around on the corner.
There are. Yeah, where I live, there's not a bunch of gay men walking the streets. So yeah, so a lot of nice eye candy while we're sitting here recording.
Yeah. No, we are getting they are right out there.
We're gonna have men from the street
come on in.
Yes,
we'll interview.
They can stand behind us.
They can stand behind
in the Speedo, in a Bobby Ewing Speedo, and give us a massage. Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, one of the emails that we got, you were going to read.
Yeah, let me read it.
Came in from one of our listeners.
Here we go, guys. Hey, Brian and John. How are you? I discovered your podcast today. Thanks for your great work. Well, thank you for that compliment. Will you talk about the difficulties for religious people for coming out? It'd be very interesting to listen to your thoughts about it. I was a member of a very conservative religious institution, Opus Dei. I hope that's right. Opus, Opus Dei. And that faith made it more difficult to accept me and come out. I've been out of the closet since 2012 and married now. And big hug.
He's from Germany.
He is from Germany. Well, I don't know about your religion at all. Me personally, I was raised Catholic and then converted to Baptist, Southern Baptist, when I was in 9th or 10th grade. And we all know about the Catholic Church. The jokes there and everything, but also some really bad things have happened to young boys in the Catholic Church. When it comes to religion, there's so much interpretation of the Bible, of everything else, and how people take it. And I'll go to a non-denomination church, or I'll go to uh, Hollywood. I think Methodist. I mean, they have the women priest, lesbian priest.
I go to Agape.
Well, you know what? My friend invited me to go to Agape.
I love Agape. I love Agape.
Do you go to the one here in Carolina?
Well, so they closed their church and now they do Sundays at the Saban
The Saban Theater, yeah.
Yes.
I look at it this way about the religious. You want to do good. I mean, that's we want to treat people with respect, love people, help people that need help.
But I don't think that falls under religion. I just think that falls under being a good person.
Well, I think, yeah.
Right?
But, what about the 10 Commandments? I don't even know. Well, thou shalt not kill.
I'm gonna pass on any organized religious beliefs.
Well, I'd like to answer this gentleman's question about, the religion, because he's asking, I was a member of so he's no longer part of that. I guess you just have to find your faith in whatever you feel comfortable with, and your God. Who is your God? Who is your higher power?
Yeah.
And what is your higher power? Is it a God, or is it a group of people? Is it whatever your higher power is?
What I find sad about this, John, is that this person, for I don't know how old he was, let's just say for 30 years he's been practicing this religion.
Yeah.
As one person. And the very next day he goes to practice that same religion as a gay man. And all of a sudden he's no longer accepted.
Right.
So for 30 years, doing what he was doing, being who he was being, acting how he was acting, he was accepted by everybody in his religious organization sphere. The next day he shows up as a gay man, and all of a sudden he's no longer accepted.
Wow.
What has changed, other than his sexual orientation, to make him no longer accepted or acceptable in their eyes? I find that so sad. And I know that people deal with that not just in Opus Dei, but in all religions.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, they're look. I mean, they're even you should not have sex outside of your marriage.
Well,
what do you think about that?
I don't know. So when I was married, you heard about swingers, but I didn't hear about swingers very often, but I knew that swingers existed.
Good movie.
But when you're
Good movie, by the way.
I knew it was a movie.
Oh my God. Is it Sigourney? No, it's not Sigourney Weaver.
Never heard of it.
I'll come back.
Now you're in the gay community, and everybody.
Ice Storm. Watch that. It's a good movie about swingers. Ice Storm. Anyway.
Okay. Well, what was that? Oh, about being in the gay community. Now you see all of these posts, and they're all from men in open relationships.
Yeah.
So basically, that's the swinger in the homosexual sphere versus a swinger in a heterosexual sphere.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about men and sex, because.
Let's talk about men and sex. All right, let me get ready.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Anyway, I mean, look, straight relationships. It's always traditionally been the man that have stepped out and had sex
Is that is that true? I don't know if that's true.
Well, maybe not today. I said traditionally.
Oh, weren't women sleeping with the milkman? Wasn't that the postman
sure
and all these things?
I think they were taking Molly's or ecstasy. What did they put all the ladies
50s,
on? They
60s,
put the ladies on
no idea.
Molly. I think it was Molly.
No, but I don't know that it's more men than women, more women than men. But who knows?
Well, I think women today are more free with their sexuality than I think. I mean, come on. I remember in the 70s, it was like, my mom, oh God, my mother, when my sisters were like, getting, putting makeup on, my mother would like, you look like a whore. Why are you wearing all that makeup? You look like a whore. People are going to talk about me. She would.
And John said, I can't wait for the day they talk about me like that.
I'm a whore already. I'm a big old whore, and they don't even know about it. She would.
With your $800 from your circle jerks.
Yeah, my $800 and my circle jerk. But how but that was you got to be a ladylike. You got to keep your legs together, and I don't. I just think men fuck around more than women. That's my opinion, and I could be wrong about it.
I did not fuck around, so I don't know that it's equal.
Every man. I'm not saying every man, and you didn't fuck around. You did not. You did not.
Well, John, I have a question for you. Getting back to religion,
yeah,
because I shared this with you the other day or whenever. I walk my dog every morning. I walk past this street about a mile from my house, and there's a crossing guard. She's in her 70s. Mm-hmm. She blasts on her phone, very hardcore religious Christian radio.
Is it radio as in talk radio?
I think it's talk radio. It sounds like evangelist type talking, and you can just hear everything Christian going out of her phone because she can't wear headphones because she's a crossing guard. So she has to be able to hear in case a car is coming or honking. So she has it blasting in her pocket. I walk my dog. She's been very nice. Always smiles, says hi to my dog, says hi to me, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I think to myself, if I wore a pride shirt and went through that crossing walk, how would the friendliness that she and I have had for the last several years be severed? Because in my eyes, the first time she met me, she recognized me as a gay man, she probably would have never said hi to me. She probably would have avoided me for the last 2 years.
But now, since you've had some type of this relationship,
like a rapport, but I don't think I would be acceptable to her if she knew that I was an out gay man.
Why don't you just ask her?
Should I? Well, just end it. We'll just end it.
Where's the shirt? What's the shirt say? What does it say?
This one says, can't even think straight.
I love it.
So I don't know. I think that people, if they know you as one person and you're accepted as that person, and they're kind to you as that person, if they find out the very next day that you're gay, and all of a sudden how they feel about you changes,
you know what?
It's so sad to me.
But I think that's across the board. Even my mother in the 70s, when my dad was fucking around with another woman, my mom was the one in society that was turned away. Her friends, because my father left, and now her community turned their back on her because she was a divorced woman. To your point though, who knows? Who knows what she would do? You should try it. Try the shirt. Talk to her about it. Listen, I think religion. I mean, my God, what a scam too. I mean, fuck. Maybe I'm the wrong business. I should have been a pastor. Could you believe it? The money that goes through. Remember the ATL Club and Tammy Faye Baker?
Oh my God.
I
saw that movie. Or wasn't it a movie on Netflix or something?
There's a couple. Well, there's a documentary about her, Tammy Faye, but there is that movie. But they built that empire. I mean, and look, you pay no taxes. And the bullshit that they were telling people to bring, send in your money. There were so many people that, gave money and still give money to some of these organizations. And I'm not saying all of them are bad. I think there's a lot of religions that do good in the world. And it don't have to be, institutions as well. Or religious institutions. There's a lot of other things like Rotary. Rotary is amazing, and that started.
Rotary? Where did Rotary come from?
I'm a proud.
Are you?
I'm a Rotary.
Are there a lot of gay men in the Rotary?
There's a few. They're starting to be. Yes, they're not a lot, but I know one.
You could be a gay Rotarian.
Well, I am, but a lot of them are going to probably find out now that I am.
Yeah.
And that's another part of coming out in the process of, there was a group of my Rotarians that I came out with. And let me tell you, Rotarian, oh my God, we do such great things. We went to Oaxaca, Mexico. We funded a project for 80 homes where people lived with no electricity, no light at all.
I did not know that the Rotary Club did that.
Rotary is amazing. It was
just networking.
It is. It's business people. It's networking, but you're helping network people make a living to also donate that living.
Network our podcast, John.
What?
You got to network our podcast.
Come on. I'll network it. I'll network the shit out of it.
You'll network it.
But listen, I'm proud to be part of that because we did. We went and put 80 solar panels at these homes, and we had a converter where they could charge, and we put light. They had light, four light bulbs in there, and so 10 shack that they live in a one-room shack. So I think a lot of organizations and religious organizations, even though I don't agree with a lot of them, some of them do good, bring water and things to different places. But there's also a bunch of scammers on there. And I just, and again, to this gentleman who feels ousted by that, I'm really sorry. I feel bad for you having to go through that because you're probably a great person, and then people turn their back on you. And that's one of the biggest things I think we are afraid of. Is people turning their back on you. And so
I had a hard ass retired police officer as a client. I told you. It was a total hard ass.
Yeah.
And another agent in my office went behind my back to tell him that I came out as gay, hoping that buyer was going to fire me because he found out I was gay. So
it backfired on that agent.
These are my best clients to date.
Well,
they take my son out to sushi.
Really?
Yes, because they need someone to help move some boxes when they were pre-packing to get their house ready. And I sent my son over there to help them, and they love him.
See, I think it's great.
Absolutely love him. So
I think, and I love this business too, because selling houses, people moving, whatever. My boys, I put them to work over there. Like, oh, I need some help. I go, here, take my sons, take them and work them, because again, they're going to be off their phone. They're going to be off their screen. And listen, like me, I started working at 9 years old. I was cutting yards. I was mowing yards.
What does cutting rice mean? I don't even know what that means.
Okay, well, soybean and rice. In Southeast Texas, there's a lot of, it's marshland. Okay. And so we had my great-great-grandfather founded 48,000 acres in Southeast Texas, and he was a big rancher and farmer. And they farm, because of a lot of rain, rice and soybean.
I've never gone to the grocery store and seen Texas rice. Are they bigger grains?
Oh, they're big grains. They're big.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
They're thicker too.
Oh, they're thicker.
Thicker stock. No, they really, really are. No, it's. I tell you what, man. Seriously, when I was 11, I was in the back of a dump truck because you have the combines. The combines cut the rice, and they sift it, and they have a big, huge bed in the back where all the rice goes to, and then they're out in the field, and then we called these doodle bugs. We had a doodle bug, which was a tractor that had another big bed. And remember, the stalk you can see, like when anytime they show Nebraska, there's combines with a stalk. Well,
are these all shirtless cowboys?
No, No,
Damn it.
no, they weren't sure.
Was this
Well,
being done on
we
South
had
Fork?
we had some Hispanics from Mexico that came up, and they had houses. They had my grandpa had houses in the back, and that's where the Latin men would be.
I think a Latin man or Latin man. That's my thing.
You like that?
I do.
But
I would like a tall Latin man.
Well, yeah, there's tall Latin.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
if you're in search of a boyfriend for me,
Is that what I'm looking for? Okay.
Latin,
I'll help you with that.
European.
But that's my rice story. That's how we cut rice with the hot Mexican. I think they're there too.
When you were 8 years old.
I was 11 then. 11. And I was driving. I was starting to drive. That's when I learned it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's I've had every job. I've had every job under the sun. But I I mean, again, the religious thing. Yeah, I guess we're not the
no. We're gonna have to get somebody on here to
we should
share their story. I figured all that out. So you were talking about the more this goes, and by the way, this podcast has gotten bigger quicker than I thought it was going to. So it's like growing beyond my expectations pretty quickly. There's going to come a time when people are going to associate you with this podcast. I sat down, I told my boys over the weekend, I'm like, hey, listen, I want you guys to know, because while we were working on this, I kept it to myself. I didn't really want to share it with other people. I didn't want people to say, oh, that's a dumb idea, this, that, whatever. So I kept it to myself. We did the first 3 episodes. We posted them. We got phenomenal response. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to sit down and talk to my boys and let them know that I'm doing this. I set them down independently, and I just told them. They were both very supportive. But the big picture, I said to them, listen, this is on a private Facebook group. This is on a separate TikTok and YouTube and all this other kind of stuff. It's not my personal accounts.
Right.
I'm going to keep this out of my personal life and just keep it as a business off to the side. So I do a Instagram post.
Yeah.
And I post it.
Yeah.
And my Instagram is set to post to Facebook at the same time.
Well, it works both ways, right? Yeah, it does. And believe me, I'm 12% user. I posted Facebook, and it goes to my Instagram.
I don't know that that's a happen for me, but could be. Right. So I post to my private Coming Inside Out Instagram page.
Right.
It posts to Facebook. I close my phone. I walk away. An hour later, I open my phone. I look at it, and somebody likes something on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did that person like? What did I post?
Right.
I open up my Facebook. It posted from my Coming Inside Out Instagram page to my public Facebook page.
Okay.
Hours after I told my kids I was going to keep it off of my public page. So I had to go in there and I quickly deleted it, but it was seen by like 12 people.
Right.
Fast forward today, I did the same damn thing, but I did it on Facebook. I thought I was on my group page, but I was actually on my public page, and I posted something. I closed my phone. I walk away from it. I come back a couple hours later, and I realize I had posted it on my public page. So this
is, and listeners, this is not the first time he did it.
Yeah.
He did this with when he came out. He put it on TikTok, and his children saw it, and the wife or the ex-wife saw it too. So, listen, if anything, you're consistent. You're consistent. We can count on you.
Yes, you can count on me for fucking this up.
But you know what? Yeah, I know. I told my boys. I told my boys, hey, I'm doing a podcast. They're like, what? And I told them exactly what they go. That's cool, Dad. They're fine with it. And your children are older though. Your boys.
My kids are 18. My son just graduated from high school last week. And
congratulations!
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to go into the military.
Is he going to go?
He's done everything. He's done his MEPS. He's done.
Wait, which branch is he going to?
He's going to go into the Marines.
Shit, really?
I know.
Get him. No, go either Air Force or Navy. You know, I'm a Navy vet. You know I'm a Navy vet.
I did not know that. Oh, did I know that?
I don't know.
I think you did tell us that.
I mean, what a chance to just have a big fuck fest with a bunch of sailors.
Oh.
And I wasn't even.
Oh.
I wasn't even there.
Oh, you did. Yes, you told us about the hookups on
19 to 24
ships and all this stuff. And you missed out on all.
I missed out on that. I totally missed out on that.
Yeah.
But well, listen, whatever your son wants to go into.
We've gone to the Army, the Navy, the Marines. He's dead set on the Marines.
Okay.
So he's joining. Well, he signs up on Monday.
Wow.
I know.
That's scary.
9 weeks Camp Pendleton. He comes home for a couple weeks and he does 13 weeks somewhere for his trade.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked last week about Fleet Week.
Fleet Week. Yes,
Fleet Week was in town here in LA, and I took my boys to see the Carl Vinson aircraft carrier, and that was just something. And I'm just so proud that I'm a veteran and I got to serve, and I love that I was able to do it. And I think it's awesome that your son is very noble that he wants to do that. He wants to do it.
This is what he wants to do.
Yeah.
The interesting thing with that is that he told us this probably when he was 12 years old. And I said, oh, no, you don't want to do that. You just want to go to college. You want to go get a 4-year degree. You just, you don't want to do that. So for years, no. And his therapist said, stop polarizing him. He will change his mind 10 times between now and the time he's 18. Just let him run with whatever he wants and just be supportive of it. So I was like, oh, good for you, good for you, good for you. And here we are, 18 years old. He hasn't changed his mind since he was 12.
Well, you know what? The kid had a dream.
He did.
He had a dream. He visualized. He manifested, just like that book.
Yes.
What's the
Project 369?
You know what?
Lifesaver.
And I bought that book after you told me, and I've read it. And again, I'm probably 40% into it.
I'm 100%. That book saved my life.
Of course it did.
That book saved my life.
I think it did.
The thing with that book, not to
let me ask you something. How did you apply it to your life? Because when I read the book, and we're in sales. And if you're in sales, you have to create a job every day. It's just like going to get a job is when you're in sales, because you don't have a salary when you're a real estate agent. You have to create it.
Yes.
And so you have to have a consistency of lead generating and doing it. And that book, really helped me visualize, set goals, and do things. But also the writing. What I liked about the writing on this book is that usually, you can journal in the morning. There's a book called Miracle Morning, which is a good book as well. And you just journal what you want, in the morning, and you visualize and everything. But the 369 book, you're doing it morning, noon, and night. You're journaling.
Yes. Do it 3 times a day. How I implemented that book into my life was I decided to wake up an hour earlier than I was waking up.
Yeah.
So if I was waking up at 6:30, I made a commitment to wake up at 5:30 every morning. I sat with that book for 1 hour every morning, because after you read the first half of the book, the second half of the book is every day you do for 30 days, you do a journaling.
Right.
And it's you write 3 affirmations in the morning. You write those affirmations 6 times in the afternoon. You write those affirmations 9 times before you go to bed.
Right. Is it the same ones every day?
Every day I would write, I'm rich in health, abundant in wealth, joyous in love. That would be my affirmation. I'd write that 3 times in the morning.
Yeah.
I'd write it 6 times in the afternoon. I'd write it 9 times before I went to bed. The next day, my affirmation could be something completely different. I'm powerful beyond measure. I'm blessed beyond belief. Right. 3 times, 6 times, 9 times. I sat with that book and I just visualized the life. I put myself into the life that I was visioning for. Right. Actually felt it. I smelt it, I tasted it, whatever. I just got into a meditative state and I just allowed myself to immerse into that life.
Are you still getting up early? What time do you get
a
up?
dog that gets in very early. So yes.
See, I don't have a dog. I don't want a dog.
Don't
I've had dogs growing up.
I love my dog, but
I love dogs.
Work. There's a lot of work.
I love dogs, don't get me wrong. But you got to get up every morning and take them out and do it. And I think that's, like,
well, my dog saved my life. I mean, not saved my life, but when I was in the deepest, darkest points of my life, I had to get my ass out of bed every morning and walk that dog. Yeah. So at 6:30 every morning, whether I wanted to be up or not, I was up and out.
Well, that was perfect. You needed that.
I had to, yes.
Listen, ever since COVID, I have been off on my morning routines. And I've had depression. I've had a lot of depression, more so than I ever have had in my life. And my doctor put me on Wellbutrin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I'm on that, and that has helped tremendously. But I am still inconsistent because I used to get up at 5:30. And I would either go work out or I would do my journaling and then start my day and, go into the office and then do my lead generation, either on the phone or I'll go door knocking. And I get that out of the way by, 11. And then, everything else, because that all comes back to you.
Yes.
But it has really been difficult for me to be consistent because some days I just want to lay in bed and not get up. I don't want to do anything.
You need to get a dog.
Well, yes.
You don't have the option of not getting up.
It's so crazy because I've heard people say that and I never could relate to it. I'm like, I always get up. How can they not get up? And, it's bad for me to judge them that way. But now I understand it. I totally understand it. And, I'm not in therapy anymore. I need to go back to therapy. I truly do. But I think, it's something we got to watch. We got and I've got to talk about it, because back in the day, you don't talk about it. And I would never tell anybody I'm on Wellbutrin. But you know what? I think our mental health is one of the most important things that has been coming as a huge acceptance in our society, too. I mean, look at the Olympic gold medalist, the young lady. I forgot she had to take a break because mentally she needed her break.
Yes.
And I think it's very important because it all circles back to what we're coming out with, what we're going through, and it's a continuation. I think.
I think one of the biggest blessings in my coming out was I went from very superficial relationships in my life to very deep, rich relationships, because you and I can talk about depression. You and I can talk about feeling depressed and whatever else is going on. Yeah. We can have conversations with each other that I would never have had with the other male friends.
No.
Before I came out.
Because you're acting. How you been? I'm fine.
Fine. Good.
Good. Yeah. Well, and that's it.
Yeah.
No,
Now we talk about real shit.
You do.
Yeah.
We do. And I think it's good. And I think, some straight guys I think they're starting to talk. I mean, the younger straight guys, the ones that are,
I think since COVID, there's been a lot of people are isolating more than they were before. A lot of the younger people, 20s and 30s I'm talking to, they like being at home. I don't see them out and about.
Is that the people you're dating that are 20 and 30 years old?
I've not dated yet.
Oh, you gotta say. Listener,
date.
If you want to take Brian now.
We're at 34 minutes. This would be probably time to end this episode.
We'll end this episode.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks. And ladies.
Yes, and ladies. Absolutely.
I think, please continue to write in. If you have any suggestions for us, please put it in your email. And again, our email is cominginsideout@gmail.com. And please write us. And if there's any topics, we're going to start having some guests
Yeah, we're going to bring Bob on our show.
We're going to bring Bob.
Bob, the who started Gay Fathers of Los Angeles.
He was part of Gay Fathers of Boston.
Yes, he was
too.
Yes, he was.
And so we're going to bring him on. He's the one that brought us all together, and just take care of yourself.
Yeah,
take care of your families. Take care of yourself, though.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and again, if you're listening to us, you can log into YouTube and watch us. John has gotten some fan mail about what a handsome guy he is. So log on to YouTube, Coming Inside Out, and you can watch our podcast.
And rate like, okay, who would you do? Would you do Brian or would you do John? Or would you not do any of them?
Or do both.
Or do both. Or not at all.
Or not at all. I don't think there's any not at all. But okay. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Oh, that was